going on, y'all? Polo Sports Talk and Entertainment. It's back again with another one. Now, I do got some breaking news uh, in the trial involving Young Thug, or should I say the Young Thug situation. This was just a bond trial, but Young Thug has been officially denied bond, as well as some of the other members too. Now, let me say something real quick before I dive into this thing, because I think uh, I think that this bond trial it it was made to make Young Thug look really, really, really bad, and I'm not surprised that the judge had ruled that Young Thug did not deserve bond. And the reason why I feel this way is because Young Thug had a lot of things working against him. Okay, one of the things that he had working against him was, of course, the murder that took place with Donovan Lewis or Donovan Thomas. I forget his name. Either way, the guy that he used, the guy that where he rented a car in his name, and that was used in the murder. That was brought up, and that right there put a stronghold on the type of evidence that it's going to take uh, for them to fight against. Now, the DA was bringing up all these different these different points to try to counter all the good things that he had shown to have been done in the community. There were witnesses at the trial that that pretty much had told how Young Thug was a force and a pillar and a philanthropist in the community. But I think it was real fucked up too, because the uh, the prosecuting team, what they were bringing up is stuff that organized crime, or organizations in the past, such as the mob, and they even try to throw the Gambino family out there and stuff like that, and try to make that comparison right there. And that right there, you know that they were really gunning for him. Now, I want to say this to y'all, man. Like, you never want to see a an African American male be stuck in the prison system, okay? Because we already have several things working against us, and that's one of the things. That's one of the boxes that they want to put us in. But when you're on the ground, when you running, organized crime, when you're doing this sort of thing, man, look, it's all fair game. And I'm gonna tell you something. See, a lot of us, man, we sit up here and we think, oh man, ain't nothing gonna happen, man. I could show this on social media. I could show that on social media. Man, you're dead wrong. You're dead wrong, because for you to think that they're not gonna build up a case against you for what they see on the gram and everything else, you out your fucking mind. They're gonna use anything that they can against you, and they're gonna make you look like just a complete monster. And then when you throw when because in the trial they were saying that he was making threats to various people in the community and said that he would kill them and kill the loved ones with along with them and stuff. And see, when you have that type of reputation, the judge isn't going to give you any type of bond or anything like that, because yeah, you could bring out, like they try to bring out an officer that was going to be with Young Thug 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365, whatever you want to call it. And but that doesn't mean anything, because when you're sitting there, you got all of this stuff hanging over your head and stuff, and then you're in a group chat that they have documented. Now they didn't have that. They didn't have that much of hardcore evidence, but they were talking about the situation that had happened at the mall, in which he threatened to shoot a security guard, and that security guard is actually a cop. He eventually went on to become a cop. So he had all these different things working against him. Now, I know there's been some talk about Yak Gotti and whether or not he snitched or not. No, Yak Gotti did not snitch. Yak Gotti is actually doing time. He went ahead and he picked up the case, and he already pled guilty. Now, I want to say this for people: we got to stop running around saying that, oh, okay, this person's a snitch, that person's a snitch, all these people are rats and all this other stuff. Look, man, if you put that type of title on an individual, like, especially as a black man, depending on where you come from and where you at, man, that's not gonna pan out good for you. So we got to stop automatically assuming that this guy is a snitch or this guy is a rat. Look, the only way that you're gonna be considered a rat or a snitch, or you told, is if that shit is in black and white and it's documented, and you actually testified against somebody or whatever, and or you're considered a snitch or a rat if you do what Takashi six snitch nine that bitch ass did, which is try to sit up there and try to play gangster, and then next thing you know, try to bring be the cause of bringing several guys down. They try to put all these little snitch, saying that this guy was going to snitch, that person was going to snitch, like Casanova and Pooh Shiesty and some of the, just to name a few. But them guys they didn't snitch. They went ahead and they held their L. Compared young Thug to the mafia. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So when you have that type of salute to you, Joshua Damson. Uh, Pan out good for you. It's not gonna pan out good for you. And look, do I feel bad for Young Thug? Yeah, I do. Like I said, I must stress again. I don't want nobody. I don't want nobody going to prison. However, if you live in that life and you hitting them streets like that, you got to know what the consequences are going to be of that. Yeah, it's great in the street because you get the respect, you get the honor. Um, of course, you get the money, you get the women, you get all of that. It's a lot of it's admirable to be in the streets, but at the same token, they don't talk about the dark side and the dark consequences that could take place too. such as you ended up in one of the two of the boxes, whether it's a cell or a casket, or you you being set up, or you being robbed, or guys being jealous of you, or guys ratting on you, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Guys doing stuff, doing harm to you or the people that you love. Gotta understand that. Right. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, that's what I was just saying, Joshua. That's what we talking about. I already mentioned all of that. I already mentioned all of that. But what I'm trying to tell people is that but look, at the same token, though, Joshua Damson, we don't know one thing that is kind of a bright spot that could work in Thug's favor is the fact that the attorney they're gonna let the defense attorney work with Thug. The lawyer is able to defend Thug. Remember, initially they were there were concerns. There was some questions that were raised about his lawyer. Uh, I forget the name that they call it or whatever, but they were just basically saying that the lawyer, they were kind of worried. The judge was kind of worried about the lawyer working with Thug, but they're going to go ahead and they're going to defend him. So I think a lot of people were looking at that. But the big thing that people wanted to see was about Young Thug being able to get that bond. Everybody else was denied bond too. Everybody else was denied bond. But I'm not going to sit up here and feel all that bad and start crying and all that other stuff because at the same token he's a grown man. You know what you're getting yourself into, and whenever they throw Rico on you, whether it's state or beyond state, it's not good either way. And if the feds pick it up, like I've said before, then you really gonna have hell to pay. And that's what and see that's what we gotta start understanding that when you're sitting there, you're taking all these risks, okay? You're taking all these risks when 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 you're famous and stuff. Yeah, you did a lot of good stuff in the community and stuff like that, but at the same token, it's a lot of risk that you're taking running a criminal organization. And that's not to say that these other motherfuckers out here are just as scandalous and aren't any more perfect than Thug, because they're not. Especially when we talk about the people that are that are dressed up in the police uniforms, uh, that are judges, that are lawyers, that are white supremacists too. But we don't make it any better on ourselves when we out here, you know, committing all these crimes and stuff like that. Even though that they want to see that, white supremacists, they want to see that shit. If by next hearing they deny our bonds, certain again YSL members will start copping pleas. I knew YSL was in trouble when that 20-year-old YSL member shot the police officer 6 times. Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, it's a lot of things A lot of things working with them. And then on top of that, you knew that they was in trouble because when him and when they ran out when they ran from the cops or whatever, of course, you know what did they find? They found the AR-15, they found a pistol, and they found a shotgun, uh, automatic gun that was loaded, and they had the Lil Wayne bus tour shooting. Yeah, man. Yeah, they had a lot of a lot of stuff working against them, man. You know, but all of that bringing in people that you know that you've helped and that you've that you know you giving them you know money to help them out in the community and stuff like that, man. Man, they don't give a fuck about that. They don't care about none of that shit, man. They don't care, man. They don't care if you help the old lady across the street so that she won't that you know no nobody hit her in the car. If you sitting up there and you doing the other crime in the streets, they're gonna take you down. They're gonna try to take us down. And look, I don't like often making it a black and white thing, but it or African American and a Caucasian thing, but you know I have to in this case exactly that where we black men have to learn to stop thinking you can save the hood. Yeah, look, and you know what? Look, hey, uh, Joshua, I don't listen. I don't mind anybody saving your hood, but if you're gonna save your hood in a different way. Save your hood, save your hood by doing something legit. Like this is what you have to do, man. Okay? And look, like I said, man, I'm not judging nobody. You do what you do. You trap, you in them streets, you live that life or whatever. Hey, to each his own. Like I said though, there's gonna be consequences. However, you gotta come to grips and to know, okay, what's gonna happen to me 10 to 15 years down the line when I catch a case like this and I got this monkey on my back? How hard is it gonna be for me to find a job? How hard is it gonna be for my reputation? How hard is it gonna be for me to overcome a lot of things, right? So all of that stuff that you're doing, like let's say, okay, for instance, like I tell people, okay, if you like, and look, I don't advocate murder, I don't advocate killing nobody, but if you a savage like that and you like doing that sort of shit, well, shit, try to find another avenue to do that shit to where okay, it's legal. I got the legal right to do this or do that. Hey, case in point, take your ass in the military and do some shit like that. Man, if you like to trap and you like to sell and all this other shit, nigga, build your ass a business and sell a product that you really like that's legal. And they can't fuck with you. If you if you like, man, and I don't like talking like this, but I mean you gotta put yourself in the mind frame of how some of these cats think. If you like running a you know running a ranch or whatever, I'll just use code. I'm talking in code like running a ranch. Nigga, open your ass up a club, and I'm gonna just leave it at that. You fill in the blanks. You do all of that other stuff because I don't want people thinking I'm advocating anything or I'm offending anybody. Offending anybody. You like to throw wild parties and do all that other shit, right? You know, and have illegal shit there. Well, shit, open your ass up a club and shit, make it make it legit and make it legal. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to find other avenues so that you could be like, okay, I can still have my fun. I can still party. I can still do what I do. And that shit is going to keep me out of jail and keep the cops from fucking with me. Shit, if you like to hit people, if you like to see a motherfucker laying on the ground and shit in pain and shit, nigga, go play football. You know what I'm saying? Go do some shit to where you could take your anger out on somebody or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm speaking for people that feel the way that they feel. You know, take all that shit. You know, pull up my Polo Motivation. Channel your motherfucking energy. Channel all that negativity that you got and use it for something else. Because you sitting up in there and you trying to play the fairy tale version or the hood nigga of Robin Hood. That shit ain't gonna pan out well for you. What's up, Jason Murphy? I see you in the building. You said exactly. We would rather trap on the block for 30K and then look down on a job that pays 40K. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You know, like, you know, we gotta start thinking. But they salivate. Let me repeat this, Joshua and Jason, if you're still in there. They they salivate at the mouth. These guys, they mouth be watering when we trapping. They mouth be watering when we shooting and killing each other. They mouth be watering when we banging every set out here. You know what makes them angry? When we got a legitimate business, when you going to school, when you learning the law, when you becoming lawyer, when you are a black judge, when you got your own trucking company, when you got your own beauty salon or barber, when you got your own club. That's what makes them upset. You got to make these motherfuckers upset. And then, listen, if they try to fuck with you, the only way that they're going to be able to fuck with you is if they catch you slipping, doing some shit. Other than that, all your ducks are in a row. And that's the point that I'm trying to make. They don't want all of our ducks in a row. Get your motherfucking ducks in a row. But no, you want to sit up there and let them incriminate you on Instagram. Look, if you got assault rifles, if you got silencers, if you got all these different weapons on Instagram and all that other, and you got drugs and shit like that, guess what? They can incriminate you. They can pull that shit up and use that shit as evidence. They can use your rap lyrics. They're gonna use your rap lyrics as evidence. But y'all got the nerve enough to sit up here and say, "Oh yeah, y'all capping for Kaepernick." Kaepernick ain't out here killing nobody. Kaepernick ain't out here robbing nobody. Kaepernick ain't out here, being, talking about, molestation and all that. I hate to use the word, and pedophilia and all that other stuff, and R and women and all that other stuff, and trafficking and shit like that. He ain't doing none of that shit. 18th Amendment still says, yeah, exactly. And listen, honest with you, we understand why they want to know why. Oh, okay, yeah, why we so behind? Or why we at the bottom of the totem pole? It's because our mindset is still in that way. Listen, it's not. It's not. It's only. It's only saying that it was 400 plus years. It was probably longer than that. That slavery had been taking place. It was probably longer than that. You got to understand this. But see, a lot of y'all, man, see, it we not out here shooting people Like our people, we shoot at each other, man. And that's even worse. We call ourselves ops and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And oh yeah, that's the ops right there and shit like that. Or man, nah, that's nah, he ain't from my hood and all this other stuff. Dog, did you build that hood? Did you build that project? Did you build any of that? No, you didn't. You said I'm 23, so I understand. But the youth think these rappers are gods and untouchable. Yeah, and we're not supposed to. Hey, guys, my bad, y'all. Now, look, if you if you so fixated on running an organization and doing all this other stuff, you know what I'm saying, and having a family, build your own family and kill them motherfuckers with success. That's what I do. Man, I let motherfuckers, not to say that it's happening, but motherfuckers, they look at a motherfucker like if you got a family, if you got a family and you got a wife and you married and shit, they look at your ass as, oh yeah, that nigga soft, or nigga, nigga, you can do all that shit you want to, and you can say all that shit you want to, but run up on me though. But I don't. I could care less what a nigga got to say about me, because guess what? I sleep in a bed that's comfortable, right, with my wife. I I could eat good. I don't have to eat that shitty ass food that's in prison. Now, as far as always looking over your shoulder, look, you always supposed to look over your shoulder. You know what I'm saying? But as far as the carefree and as far as you having to worry about a whole bunch of enemies and shit like that because of you living that type of life, you know, that has kind of dwindled down a little bit. But you always want to be prepared, because you look at what's going on now. You can't even go to the goddamn grocery store. You can't even go to the fucking hospital. But all that shit, look, I could come home and I could watch TV. I could go to my own refrigerator. I could use the bathroom in privacy. All that shit is stripped away from you once you go to prison. Hold on one second, y'all. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna let y'all in. But in case y'all haven't, in case In case y'all haven't heard, Young Thug has been denied bond. Now the attorneys they have said that the attorneys, uh, the defense team, can work with Thug though, the lawyer, because that was one of the concerns that they had about the lawyer situation. But he has been denied bond, as well as the rest of the crew. And I'm gonna say this again: Yak Gotti is. It hasn't been documented that he's a snitch, okay? Because Yak Gotti has pled guilty, and Yak Gotti is about to go ahead and do his case. They're working on his case. So I'm gonna let y'all in. Uh, Look, we talking about Young Thug, okay? We'll get to the rest of the shit in a minute, but we're not talking about no. Look, I know that the finals is getting ready to happen and all that shit, but we're not talking about that right now, okay? But y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Y'all tell me what you think, man, because I mean this situation right here, man, is really serious. We got a little bit before the game come on. You said if the U.S. government spent $80 million to indict John Gotti, how much would they do? How much would they spend to indict Young Thug and YSL? I don't know. I don't know, but I know it. With the type of evidence that they got, you know what I'm saying? With the type of evidence that they got, and it's blatantly obvious because of the rap lyrics and stuff like that. Because the mob bosses and the mafia, like guys like El Chapo and uh, Noriega and uh, Pablo Escobar, drug lords like that, you know, they were powerful, but they tried to do everything that they could to move move a little. They tried to do everything that they could to inflict fear amongst the people. Now, there were drug lords that really wanted to take the other route, and they actually tried to be legit by doing the shit. That's not to say that they were gonna get away with the shit like Freeway Ricky Rouse or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's the guy. That's the nigga I respect. You know what I'm saying? Because Freeway Ricky Ross, what he wasn't about, putting the other stuff, man. He was about actually creating legitimate businesses, even though at his height or he was this guy was getting millions. But he didn't want to. He said you're talking about a guy that didn't even know how to read or write. And what did he end up doing? He went to jail and was able to he taught himself how to read and write or whatever, and he was able to defend himself in terms of his case. We black people are more than rappers and ball players. Yeah, exactly. That's just a stereotype for us. That's just a stereotype for us. We look. I tell anybody this, man. Don't focus on being. Uh, look, you could do any goddamn thing you want to. Okay, you could do anything, and if you put your mind to it and everything. But also, you got to be realistic about the shit that you're trying to obtain. Everybody's not cut out to be a rapper. Everybody's not cut out to be athletic. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's not cut out to do certain things. But at the same token, you can't always put all your peas in one pot. Try to find different things that you love. If you find a passion, then work on that passion. That's what I'm saying. We spend but we don't have no drive. Our drive is to get up in the morning and look at IG to see how big a girl's booty is, or our drive is to see how many females or you could get. You know what I'm saying, on social media, or how many followers you could get, or how many likes you could get, or how many subs you could get, and all that other shit. Got to talk about real life, homie. And then listen, if you have a family right now, man, your time, for playing is over with. It's over with. Sorry about that, y'all. Okay, you said all these rappers have tragic endings, either prison or death. You said King Von, Tay K, Young Thug, YFM, Lucci, Young Dolph, Mo 3, Pop Smoke, Triple X, Juice World, and the rest. Yeah, man. You know, look, man, look. Let me make something else clear too, man. Not every rapper is gonna lose their life that way. You know what I'm saying? Like we do gotta. There are some rappers out here that have been able to uh, avoid the jail cell, and avoid an untimely death or whatnot, and not fall victim to the streets. But what I'm telling you is that if listen, everybody sits up there and they talk shit about Guwap, about him making a change or whatever. They were like, oh yeah, that's a clone, and when he stepped out of prison and all this other stuff, they see niggas wanted to see Gucci Man get out, be right back up in prison again, and still be, big and still all doped up and being on lean and shit like that. But see, you don't want to see a successful nigga step out of prison, get married, you know what I'm saying? Nigga in shape, got his body right and shit like that. Yeah, y'all thinking the nigga, like anytime a nigga lose some weight or shit and nigga get cut up and shit, then you want to automatically think that nigga's a clone or that nigga's sick or some shit like that, right? But nah, the nigga is just, he just taking care of his body because he wants to have he wants to have he want to lead a healthier lifestyle and live a few more years on this earth or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It starts with your body first, and that's what look, we are psychologically conditioned to do what the white man tells us to do. Oh, how can I, man, if I don't get to work on time, guess what, man? Shoot, my boss is gonna fire me or whatever. I gotta make the business look good and all this other shit. Look, as soon as you get tired of that shit, be your own boss so that way you can go to work when you want to. And it don't matter what age you is either, man. Look, if you're not in a great situation, I don't care if you're in your 30s, your 40s, or whatever, nigga, you still got time, man. And stop making, oh yeah, well, man, I'm too old to do this. Nah, you ain't never too old. Just jump right back on that shit. Same thing with Bobby Murder. Expecting him to be wild as hell. Yeah, nah, man. Man, people got to change, man. You said I think working with the right lawyer, Young Thug could get a bond. Nah, that's not happening. That's not happening, Stephen. That's not happening, man. There's too much stuff working against him at this point in time. Sorry about that, y'all. I'm back. You know, you said Young Thug is cooked. He will eventually take a deal like Casanova. Yeah. You know, man, look, Casanova, man, you know, but I give props to Casanova, you know what I'm saying? Because he stuck it out, he didn't snitch, and and he went ahead and he took that dub. And you also got to give props to what's it called? I think it was Rollo. They didn't snitch. You know what I'm saying? They went ahead and they did their time. But either way, you still don't like that type of shit. You still don't want to see a motherfucker go go to jail. I know I sure as hell don't. I don't like to see none of my kings locked up because I know what it is. I know you got to be strong mentally in order to survive prison, man. It's not something that you could just say, okay, yeah, I'm finna get over this, and I don't care how much money you got. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how powerful you is. You know, you're gonna miss you're gonna miss the overall convenience of what it is in in normal society. And did I fuck with Young Thug's music? Absolutely. And look, I'm not saying that. Okay, there's always hope. It's always hope, man. You know what I'm saying? It's always hope. It's always a light at the end of the tunnel. But in this situation right here, nah, man, because just the way that judge was just bringing up everything, and just how concerned he is, because what he's concerned with is, he said that he's concerned with uh him threatening the victims, and their families and all of that other stuff, and him doing other stuff, him doing harm to other people, and him stating that he was gonna effing kill, he said he was gonna fucking kill, blah blah blah, and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? They trying to end that shit, and the 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 DA in Georgia said that they are seriously trying to end all of that. Uber. So you gotta you gotta really think about what you're doing, about what who you hanging around too. And a lot of times, look, this is the other thing too. They alluded to this fact. They said, he might have not have been doing this stuff himself, but he was also stating that he didn't have to get his hands dirty and stuff. And that's you just as guilty by doing that shit. Like, and look, if you gonna fuck with the streets, if you're gonna be out there, nigga, I know the guys that the cats that I know that was really in the streets like that. They didn't want their business out there like that. They didn't want to be incriminated. They didn't want to draw attention to themselves and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? They didn't even want you to speculate anything that they were doing. They didn't want none of that. They didn't want any of that being put on blast about anything that you were doing. They didn't want none of that. They didn't want, they wanted everything that they were doing to be kept on the low. That's why, you got a lot of guys that's, some of these powerful people that they probably doing it, but you probably wouldn't even know it. And I'm not advocating for it, but I'm saying if you're gonna sit up there and you're gonna do it, well, you need to have you need to be putting that frame of mind like, okay, hey, look, I'm finna I'm finna do this shit, but I'm not gonna allow myself to get caught up by pretty much posing the obvious. Sure. Herb Gotti. Yeah, Herb Gotti, man. Yeah, I remember that, man. But it's very few people that can do that. But nah, Murder Inc. was still they were still involved in some stuff that was being put out there and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, either way, man, I don't want none of I don't want nothing happening to nobody, man. I don't want nothing happening to nobody right now. You know what I'm saying? Especially our African American brothers and our sisters too, and our brothers and our sisters. I don't want none of our brothers and our sisters being locked up. I don't want them locked up. I don't want them in jail. I don't want nobody fighting cases like this silly shit right here, man. He could be out doing some other shit right now. Now, there's some dumb ones too, and I love my queens, but it's a lot of them that are, and I'm not gonna say dumb is the fact that not like book smart dumb, but I'm just talking about airheaded and common sense dumb, and being able to be uh manipulated and persuaded into anything. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where common sense comes in. And for those of y'all that have daughters and uh, even children, just children, period, man, you gotta know, you gotta teach them common sense, man. Because you got a lot of people out here that's gonna try to run game and try to do silly stupid shit. These men are competing with women for social media clout. Yeah, which is dumb. This internet shit ain't real. It's not real, man. It's not a real life. On that note, though, Polo Sports Talking Entertainment, and I'm out.